Why is it that some countries are rich, while others remain trapped in poverty? Why does a baby born in Norway expect to live into their 80s, while a baby in Sierra Leone might not reach adulthood? This isn't just about money. It's about history, power, systems, and choices. Today, we'll uncover the real reasons behind global inequality. This is the true story of why some countries are rich and others poor, and why it has nothing to do with race, hard work, or even natural resources. Let's begin with a town split in two. Once upon a border, there's a town called Nogales. But it's no ordinary town. It's sliced in half by a fence. On the north side, Nogales, Arizona, in the United States. On the south, Nogales, Sonora, in Mexico. Walk just a few steps across the border and life changes completely. In Arizona, kids walk safely to well-funded schools. Electricity flows reliably. The streets are orderly, the water clean. But in Sonora, just yards away, families struggle. Hospitals are overcrowded. Roads crumble. Crime is higher, trust in government lower. And yet, the people on both sides of the fence, they share the same ancestry, the same language, the same climate, the same name. So what explains the massive difference? It isn't race. It isn't culture. And it's definitely not geography. The answer is this: institutions. The invisible systems, laws, rules, governments, that shape how societies function. Now, let's go back in time, to where this all began. 5 centuries ago, the world was being carved up. European empires, Spain, Britain, Portugal, colonized the globe. But they didn't treat their colonies equally. In some places, like North America, settlers wanted to live and build. Over time, they created inclusive institutions courts, property rights, self-rule. But elsewhere, in much of Latin America, Africa, and Asia, the goal was simple: extract wealth. Gold, silver, labor. For that, they built extractive institutions designed to enrich the colonizer and crush the colonized. When these nations gained independence, they inherited those same broken systems: corrupt elites, authoritarian rule, weak checks and balances. And those systems still shape lives today. Still not convinced? Then come with me to Korea. One country, one people, one culture. Until 1945, when it split, north and south. Same language, same traditions. But over time, they became two entirely different worlds. South Korea opened its doors to trade, democracy, and innovation. North Korea locked its people in with fear, propaganda, and dictatorship. Today, South Korea builds phones, cars, satellites. North Korea builds walls, weapons, and famine. The people didn't change. The system did. Okay, but maybe it's about resources. Shouldn't countries with oil, diamonds, or gold be rich? Sometimes they are. Often, they're not. Take Nigeria. Rich in oil, but also rich in corruption, inequality, and political chaos. Now look at Norway. Also rich in oil, but with strong institutions and public trust, they built a $1 trillion fund to secure their children's future. Resources are only a blessing when used wisely. Without transparency and accountability, they become a curse, fueling greed, violence, and civil war. And no, geography isn't destiny either. Singapore began as a humid island with no resources. Today, it's a global financial giant. Dubai, built from desert sands into a city of skyscrapers. Iceland, cold, remote, volcanic, and thriving. What makes the difference isn't where you are. It's what you build there. But wealth isn't just in oil or land. It's in people. Rich countries invest in education, in health, in innovation. Finland gives every child a world-class education, for free. Rwanda, once ravaged by genocide, now teaches its youth to code, to lead, to dream. When people are equipped with knowledge and freedom, they create their own wealth, far beyond natural resources. So, can poor countries actually become rich? Absolutely. And many already have. In the 1980s, Vietnam was among the poorest nations. Now, it's a global manufacturing hub. Bangladesh, once known only for poverty, lifted tens of millions out of it in just a few decades, by empowering women and investing in textiles. Even Ethiopia, long a symbol of famine, has built tens of thousands of kilometers of roads in just 20 years. Change is possible. But it takes leadership, reform, and systems that serve the people. So here's the truth: some countries are rich. Others are poor. Not because of luck. Not because of race. Not because of laziness. But because of the systems they built, and the ones they inherited. The systems we create can imprison, or empower. And while governments hold the pen, people like you hold the pressure. Ask questions. Demand transparency. Vote wisely. Stay informed. Because, as Nelson Mandela once said, poverty is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be eradicated by human action. That action begins with understanding. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing informative content.